well. Andi, we are in love.
I never loved her. She's not important. She doesn't matter. She means nothing to me.
And I'm nothing. And then I meant nothing. See?
I ain't gonna lie. I mean, even though Andi is getting everything she deserves, she's not a victim and I don't feel sorry for her. Even I had a moment where I'm like, ooh, damn. When Gary straight up said to Penelope, while Andi is like just a few feet away, she meant nothing to me. She was just a side chick. She's not marriage material. You're the only woman I love. And I'm like, it's kind of hilarious in hindsight when you look at the clip that I used at the beginning of this video, where Andi, the first thing she said to Penelope when she finally opened her mouth, "We're in love." and then Gary just shut that down immediately. "I don't love her." And I'm thinking, for a side chick though, I mean, you dropped over $5 million. What, the penthouse was 3.5. The Rolls Royce was probably over, I don't know how expensive the car is, but I know it's pretty dang expensive. Not to mention, not just the penthouse, but the portrait of Andi, all the expensive clothes, the jewelry. Because what, the Rolls Royce was full of different things, from jewelry to, you know, purses, bags, and everything. Yeah, he probably spent well over $5 million. And I said, what kind of side chick is that? And then people were like, an expensive side chick, Jeremy. I'm like, all right. But if you listen to what Gary was saying to Penelope, a lot of what he said was like rinse and repeat what he told Andi regarding his relationship to Jasmine, you know, even when they were still married. And Penelope seemingly didn't buy it. I mean, whether or not they end up together again, well, we'll just have to wait and see. But we do know that in the finale, Andi, Penelope, and Fatima confront Gary to see what his true intentions are. So, you know, we'll just have to see how things play out over the next few episodes. But Andi is just, you know, hysterical over the idea that I meant nothing to him. I mean, the dude's a cheater. He had an affair with you. You lose him how you get him. I don't know why Andi has these moments of just completely breaking down when people show you what they really think of you. And I mean, it's because she carries herself like, oh, she's the belle of the ball. She's the ultimate prize and any man would be lucky to get with her, but she's not just going to give it up to anyone. No, you know your place. You a hoe. You a mistress. You ain't nothing but a side piece. So for her to act like her entire world is crumbling because she's finally being told what she really is makes no sense. It's just like when Robin, you know, gave her what for about, you know, I thought you were a woman who had standards. You know, you over here fucking janitors. And then, you know, she got in her feelings about that. And it's like, nah, this is what happens. And I'm like, I don't feel bad because at the end of the day, you're laying your head down in a fully furnished multi-million-dollar penthouse in a Rolls Royce. So, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry Gary told you what you really are. Now go home in your expensive car to your expensive penthouse. Boo-hoo. Golly, I mean, just, and like I said in my other video about how toxic this sister circle is because of the lack of accountability when they tried to like tell Andi, no, actually you didn't do anything wrong because he was the one that lied. Wasn't he going through a divorce and this, that, and the third? And it's like, no, I don't know. It's just stupid. These women are stupid for real. Like to even attempt to justify Andi's actions, to even attempt to tell her, you're a good person. You are marriage material. Hell no. But no, Andi, you need to look. Now, we could somewhat agree that what Gary was telling Penelope was all lies. Because when you really think about it, Gary may have been trying to save face because unlike Andi, Penelope's pregnant with his child. So it's quite possible he's afraid that Penelope might try to get vengeance through his pockets. Like, she isn't high maintenance, but you know, like we've seen with Heather, and I almost merged their names together like it was Dragon Ball Fusion. Karen and Heather, you know, when they get pissed off, they try to come after Zach for everything they can get. So I think that's why he's trying to patch things up with Penelope, because not just, you know, my theory about child support, but when you look at the two women side by side, and we just met Penelope, she seems to be the one who's actually marriage material. Now the argument could stand like, but Jeremy, if Gary didn't feel like Andi was marriage material, why did he try to marry her back in season 3? Case in point, what did he tell Aaron back then when the girls took Andi to the back to talk to her while Gary and Aaron stood at the altar and waited? Aaron was like, wait, are you sure about this? Gary, doesn't it seem a bit rushed? He's like, I just don't want to be alone. So right there, it's kind of like, I guess out of the two, he preferred Andi, but I feel like Penelope being, and nothing against the character, because I actually like her from what we've seen, but I feel like her inclusion in the series throws a lot of things out of whack, especially with timeline continuity. So I don't know. I just feel like, you know, from what I've seen, Andi is clearly not marriage material. But for Gary to say she meant nothing to him is complete horse crap, because if she didn't mean anything to him, he wouldn't constantly be trying to screw up her relationships with other men, nor would he constantly keep trying to get her back with these extravagant gifts. So what do you think? Is Gary lying to Penelope, or does Andi really mean nothing to this man?